So I signed up for this Underdog Fantasy Best Ball Mania draft. We drew the very vanilla 6 pick. Now I did a draft out of the middle of the round the other day, and I kind of liked it. It ended up pretty well for me. We're going to see what we can do with this one through correlations. It is early in draft season, June 22nd, as we're doing this draft. 12 of my closest friends, hopefully who I've never met. Let's see. I don't know anybody in this draft. Perfect. 11 friends that I have not met yet. That's the way I like to do. I did a draft yesterday, and Cal Spears and Beer Makers fan winner. That's not what I want. I don't want to see names that I know. I want to see a bunch of names that I don't know. We're going to go through this, pick who we can ever come up with, try and get some week 17 correlation, stack some QBs, and get after it. Let's go.
He's a legend.
So as I said, it's really early in draft season. I don't know exactly where I'm at yet on, guys in the late rounds. I don't really like the ADPs right now. There's not as many obvious spots for me after the 100th pick in drafts. This is very standard. Jefferson, Chase, McCaffrey, Tyreek. It's a very standard start right now. I have been, as always, using the rankings, the draft rankings at establishtheRun.com. So if you want to head over there, go to smizzle.tv/ETR. You get a discount as a new member if you have not already. I think that they have really great content, as well as making your life easy, by having this. Well, I'm going to do something crazy here. Let's go with Travis. We're going to take Sweet Trav in the first round, get a massive leg up on the competition with that premium tight end in an offense that really has nowhere else to lean at wide receiver. They got rid of Juju. They got just like a bunch of dudes at wide receiver. None of them are going to command over a 15% target market share. Travis Kelce probably going to get 25. Tyreek with another assault charge coming. He got one, but at least this time it was on an adult. So progress, I guess, right? It's a step in the right direction for whatever that means. Haku, thank you for the 26 months. So we're still going to get left to us in the second round. I don't usually mark players in the queue, because if somebody's watching the stream and they're in the draft, then like they can snipe and whatever. Did you know Kelce played basketball in high school? I did not know that. But have you watched his I popped this out? There we go. Have you watched his podcast with his brother? Fantastic. I have not listened to or watched the whole podcast, but they clip out micro content of it all the time. So I watch it a minute at a time, and it's hilarious. Him and his brother are great. So what I was saying is, I have not decided what my favorite spots are, and I had a lot of easy spots last year. If you remember the content from last summer, Singletary around pick 100, around pick 120 to 130, we were going Ramondre Stevenson all the time. 150 to 160, Jamal Williams was a free square for us. There was a lot of easy running backs early, which allowed us to go 2 or less running backs in the first 10 rounds, load up on elite quarterbacks. It ended up being a very correct way to go, even though I didn't win the whole damn thing. I had a very successful season for where I wanted to go through drafts. It was a very easy summer to navigate fantasy football drafts. This summer, at least from where I sit right now, those spots aren't exactly obvious yet. Maybe they'll get there. Maybe I'm still at what? Why did he go at 17? I'm just going to do the obvious thing and not take the chance. I'll take my premium stack and we'll move from there. I was hoping that T. Higgins might slide to me later. Usually T. Higgins goes right here. The guy who takes Jamar Chase takes him up in there. I can understand this through the lens of he'll probably take Burrow around 41, which certainly does make sense because Burrow's great. But it leads me to another thing that I wanted to talk about. Robbing somebody of their quarterback stack. Steph Diggs, Josh Allen, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Jamar Chase. If he was to get T. Higgins in this spot, right? If your Jamar Chase drafter also gets T. Higgins in this spot, and you're picking, it goes this way, then it comes back this way. If you're in this spot around here, because that's around Joe Burrow's ADP, depending on site, it's somewhere between 39 and 43, depending on the day that you're drafting and everything else. In a best ball tournament, I'm not talking about a standalone league. I'm talking about a best ball tournament. You're not hurting the other team if you don't have the A or the B option for a quarterback stack. So if you're robbing that, I'm going to stop this guy from getting the stack that he wants, right? This guy probably wanted Jalen Hurts on the way back. The only person that you're hurting once you have neither the A or B option is your own team. So there's only 2 ways that those draft picks happen. Number one, those draft picks happen because the person does not pay attention, does not understand tournament strategy, and they're just drafting players because they like to draft players, right? I'm going to take the guys I like, and that's it. They don't really understand the philosophy of best ball. They clearly don't understand the philosophy of tournament best ball. And so therefore they have to do, they're just going to pick whoever they want. It's our pick now. Let's see who we're going to take. I got Keenan Allen. I got Amari Cooper. That's an interesting one right there. 19 seconds left. I do need a wide receiver. I'm going to go with Debo in this spot. I already have my tight end. Patrick Mahomes, Debo Samuel, and Travis Kelce. Not so bad. So you're hurting yourself, right? When you make picks like that, you're hurting yourself. Here's why. Like I said, there's two types of people. There's the first person who just doesn't know what the hell they're doing. The second type of person knows what they're doing, right? They're looking at you drafting those two guys and they're saying, I'm going to screw this guy. I'm going to make sure he doesn't get his quarterback to go with his stack. That only hurts the guy who makes the quarterback pick. Let me explain why. You have Jamar Chase and T. Higgins here. Somebody in here takes Burrow, right? I'm going to assume that Vision is going to take Burrow, but I could be wrong. If you don't have the 1 and the 2 guy in the stack and you take the quarterback, if the quarterback has an MVP year, and an MVP year nowadays is kind of defined by like 45 plus touchdowns and 5,000 yards passing. If he has that sort of year, guess who goes bonkers? Both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, right? So in the case that season happens and you have that quarterback and like, okay, maybe what are you going to do? You're going to double stack him with like Boyd and Irv Smith, like, and get a total of 20% of the target market share. Like, it could work if you make the playoffs. And in week 17, he has 4 touchdown passes, all to Irv Smith and Tyler Boyd. But like, it's a pretty thin route that you're taking. A more realistic route is Burrow has an amazing year. Both Chase and Higgins have amazing years, and you don't help your team at all. B, those guys don't have an amazing year. Jamar Chase and or T. Higgins gets hurt, or they don't have amazing years. What way would they not have an amazing year? If Joe Burrow got hurt, that hurts your team. If Jamar Chase gets hurt, that hurts your team. Like, there's no path to winning. So try and avoid that as a drafter yourself. But there's also a way, you don't screw this guy. If this person has Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, which he does not have, they can correlate through Kansas City. They can go get Jerick McKinnon. They can go get Sky Moore. They can go get Justin Watt. They can get all these dudes late with that week 17 correlation. Even though they don't have the quarterback on either side of that, they can have 3-4 pieces from the highest scoring game in week 17. So you're not hurting them. You're only hurting yourself. So try and avoid that. Smart here. Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson pairing. Calvin Ridley, Joe Burrow. See, what are you doing? Jay Bird. Like, I just talked about this, Jay Bird. Prime example of what not to do. And we literally just talked about it. There are some men you just can't reach. Christian Watson going very early. Vision's got to be pissed. He's got to be so upsetty spaghetti right now. So upsetty spaghetti. I'd be upsetty spaghetti too. Couldn't even blame him. Keenan Allen goes there. Really like Chris. I like that offense, but I'm going to go here. I don't need the quarterback early. So I really like the Jacksonville offense. And I'm advocating, at least right now, very much so, for elite quarterback early. And I'm grading Jacksonville as a elite quarterback stack through Kirk or Ridley, any combination of Kirk, Ridley, Ingram. You can get Zay Jones a little bit later as well. Get 2 of those guys with Lawrence and you're fine. I don't need to target them right now because I do have Patrick Mahomes. And I think Terry McLaurin is solid. I'm looking up a specific article, but I got to find it because I thought it was really well done. And again, it is an article that's on Establish the Run. Let me bring it up here for you. On Establish the Run, ranking every week 17 game by Fantasy Goodness. Now, this is only relevant if you're playing tournaments. If you're playing sit and goes, you don't really need to pay attention to week 17. Allie Bourne, thank you for the 61 months. They rank them in order. You can go check it out. Number 1, Cincinnati Bengals, Kansas City Chiefs. They go through all 16 games. Great article on Establish a Run, smizzle.tv/ETR. Go check it out. We're 3 picks away. FF Links, what does he have? I couldn't see it fast enough. 1 pick away. A certain player, please don't take him. Oh, he took him. I hate you. I wanted Joe Mixon to go with my Patrick Mahomes stack here. I didn't get. Hate everything. I'm very upset. I'm gonna go with Aaron Jones. Oh, that's so mad. Who does he have? Oh, this should not take 4 clicks to get to. Cooper Kupp, Ramondre, DK Metcalf, Travis Etienne, and he goes and grabs Joe Mixon, which sucks for me. That would have been the dream start for me, to get Kelsey, Mahomes, Joe Mixon right here in the 5th round, and then 2 really premium wide receiver ones. I think that Terry McLaurin's going to be fine. He's been fine the last couple of years. I think they'll be fine. He's just a solid option. Debo's going to be Debo. Oh, I'm depressed. His running back capital is too much this early. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not seeing the paths to the running backs that are being drafted at pick, let's say 100 and beyond, as at least not as easily. And last year might have just been this massive anomaly for somebody like me, where like I was seeing the path extremely clearly and just hammering. I think I had 60% Jamal Williams and 40 something percent Ramondre Stevenson. It was very easy. They were auto clicks for me later in drafts, where I could feel confident that I was going to get some talented and high activity running backs as my RB 3, 4s, and 5s. I don't mind getting a lot of running back capital early on in drafts right now. It's fine. You know, you personally see a lot of paths for guys in rounds 9 through 12. Yeah, that's kind of where they go. It's not even rounds 9 through 12. It's like pick 80 to 100 is kind of where those things start going. And like Cam Akers, that's well ahead of where he's been going at 60. This is one thing I didn't hit on earlier. The dream, if you get the 11 or 12, the dream is CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Week 17 correlation. You got the 12 pick. It sucks. At least you get 2 prime wide receivers playing in a dome game in week 17 against one another with defense, like no defense. Unlike this is the dream 12. If you get 11 and you take CeeDee Lamb and you end up with ARSB here at 14, or if both of them fall to you at 12, just take both CeeDee Lamb and Amon-Ra St. Brown at 12, 13. That's the dream as you come out of there. Michael Pittman is an interesting conversation for the simple fact, and then he took Dallas. This is the island of misfit toys right here. He took Trevor Lawrence here with nothing. I'm assuming that Vision's going to stack him with Ingram and Zay Jones later. We're on deck here, so let me go back to the main page. I'll make my pick, and then I'll talk to you about Pittman. Don't let me forget about Pittman. See, I don't love anybody in this range. I'm going to go with Marquise Brown. I know that the quarterback is injured, but like he's going to get peppered with targets. He's got a ton of targets coming. You know, don't love it. Don't hate it either. It's just, you know, it's just sometimes you just got to make a pick to get us to that next one. Round 7, 8, 9. That's where I start loading up on running backs typically. Double stack with Kadarius. I don't love Kadarius, but he's fine. DeAndre Swift. He's early. That's at pick 69. Nice. Tyler Lockett. Nobody has. This is a weird draft. Unstacked Herbert. Fields doesn't need a stack. Unstacked Hurts. Mahomes stack. Allen stack. Unstacked Burrow. Unstacked Lawrence. But he could get. There's 2 pieces he could get sooner or later. Lamar Jackson is stacked. No QB. No QB. He can still stack with CeeDee Lamb. He can still stack with Las Vegas. He can still stack with. He's got options here. But not stacking these premium QBs. You've been getting Akers in round 7. That's what I'm saying. He usually goes around pick 80-ish, 80 to 90, depending on which site you're on. This is a weird draft. Specifically a weird draft because it's on Underdog. Very specifically a weird draft on Underdog with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 badges. 7 badges in a weird draft is usually those drafts go a little bit more by the book, let's say, with people going out of their way to make certain plays and adjusting better to the picks that go on around them. You're annoyed when you see no QB stacks in best ball drafts. You'll take Brown, Hurts, Goddard. Oh, of course. If I can get out of a draft with Brown, Hurts, Goddard. Thoughts on taking 4 tight end as your last 4 pick strat? I don't like it. I'll take 3 tight ends. I won't take 4. If I don't have a premium tight end, I'll take 3 tight ends. I never leave a draft with 4. I'm sure somebody has mathed it and come up with, you know, the rationale for why they think it's a plus EV move. I would need to be convinced. I would certainly need to be convinced. So chat brought up that I could go with Kadarius Toney here, sure, but like I'm not thrilled about it. I'm going to take my second running back in this spot. It's going to be David Montgomery. I think David Montgomery is actually good. I think he's actually a good player. I've always thought he is actually a good player. People like to crap on David Montgomery for whatever reason. Breaks a ton of tackles, lots of yards after contact. Now he's on a team that has an actually good offensive line, an offense that does score a lot of points, And those are things that should lead them or lead running backs in those systems to scoring fantasy points. And yes, Jahmyr Gibbs is talented. I don't know that they're going to use Jahmyr Gibbs in a way that is different from how they use DeAndre Swift. Now, maybe they are. Maybe they're going to give him all the touches and the goal line touches, but the gap in ADP and the way that Coach Campbell deploys his running backs, at least to me, says that David Montgomery is going to have value in that offense. I'm not saying he's 100% going to be what Jamal Williams was last year, and we're clearly not getting the same value that we got with Williams at pick 150 all summer. Hearing good in the same sentence as Detroit, you think that's weird? Yeah. I mean, they're a good offense. I hope they're not a good defense, right? We don't want that. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants them to be a good defense. Shut up. If you're rooting for Detroit to be a good defensive team this year, no, down the street with you. Down the street with you. Don't want that. I mentioned Michael Pittman. So I want to talk about this before it comes to my pick. I typically don't want to put up a wide receiver that's got a rookie quarterback, because rookie quarterbacks typically don't throw more than 25 touchdowns in a year. They usually go to teams that are trash, have bad offensive lines, don't score a lot of points. They're 2 years now. Like, so a lot of them are going to be great, right? We see that. But that rookie season, Josh Allen, great quarterback. Rookie season, not so great, right? Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert put up great numbers their rookie seasons. That's very rare. You know, he got Jamison Williams down here, Connor, to match with CeeDee Lamb. Williams out for the first 6 weeks of the season, but week 17, he now has his correlation to go along with that. Deshaun Watson in this spot, he's got two quarterbacks. Darren Waller, god damn it! I've been sniped twice. I done been sniped 2 times for the guys that I'm looking for. I'm not a fan right now of the way things are. Not a big fan of the way things are going. Not happy at all. What if Pittman has 18 or 25 touchdowns? Right. What is the path to that? Let's discuss. They drafted a kid that I think is going to be a very exciting fantasy prospect, but he is very inaccurate and it's going to be up and down. And if he's going to be a good player, it's going to be Justin Fields-ian, at least for the first year or two of his career, which means that he's not going to be able to carry a wide receiver, at least not to fantasy greatness, not this early. And I was listening to JJ's podcast, The Late Round QB. If you guys have not listened to the Late Round QB podcast, go listen. I did a whole show on first year and rookie quarterbacks that digs into the numbers about all that and meshes with my philosophy on not drafting wide receivers that have rookie quarterbacks. You'll be right way more often than you'll be wrong. So go do the thing. I'm mad about Darren Waller in this spot for one specific reason. I have not done any videos as of yet of, you know, late round running backs. I'm looking at 0 running back targets, late round QB stacks, but the Giants are a fabulous late round QB2 stack. You want to have an elite quarterback? If you're an elite QB drafter like me, you have to have a plan of how you want to operate to get yourself that secondary correlation through a quarterback. Darren Waller around there, Daniel Jones around 105. Then you've got guys like Paris Campbell in round 16 through 18. You've got around pick 150 to 160. Again, all these ADPs are fluid and they're going to change a lot. But like around 150 to 160, you got Hodgins, Jalen Hyatt's in that range. You have 2 guys that you could pick out of that 3-4. Wandale, you could pick 2 guys to go with Daniel Jones from Darren Waller to those other guys and get yourself in a really, really, really favorable position, you know, with all the guys that you're looking to draft. That's not the one. I'm trying to find a faster way there without getting rid of the other thing. I'm already on the clock. God damn it. This is hard. All right. So I have the 1 stack, but there's somebody else I want better. And I'm going to take him ahead of ADP. Now I'll take him next. Get rid of this. Let's go with Tyler Boyd here. So there's my week 17 correlation through Tyler Boyd. So I've got my week 17 correlation, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Tyler Boyd. Hopefully I'll be able to get him ahead of ADP by 12 picks with this next pick here. I'll be able to get the running back McKinnon. There's Daniel Jones. So smart play by TD33, getting Waller and then Daniel Jones. He can take 1 or 2 of the later guys to go with his stack. And he's already got the primary stack of Josh Allen. Are they both week 13? I don't know. Are they both week 13? Show me his team. Yeah. So he's going to have to draft a third QB to cover that week 13 spot. That's why this particular one does not work. But all the other premium QBs, those allow for it. And I really like the Giants double as a secondary stack. I don't like it with Josh Allen ones. Vision going off the board. He's not picking bad players. He's just all over the place. He does have a Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, Rashad Bateman stack. I like Pitts around this price point. You know, I know we've all been hurt before. We're not ready to be hurt again, but can't get worse than it was last year with Mariota. They're a more dynamic offense. Now, there's that Aaron Rodgers when he picked Garrett Wilson. I told you they could correlate through here. Dak Prescott and Jared Goff. He's got the super week 17. I'm going to have a dude in week 17 that goes off. He's got Goff to Williams. He's got Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. He wants every bit of that Dallas-Detroit game, and it's sharp. It's a sharp play. I like it. I really do like that play a lot, and he can still load up more through tight ends and ancillary wide receivers as well. Good play by Connor Robb. 1, 2, 3, 4. Zay Jones, as we said before, with Trevor Lawrence. Also Amari Cooper. Double stack there for him. I'm on the clock. Oh, God, I'm on the clock. Oh, my God, I don't know how to do it. Here, Jerick McKinnon. Pow. It is half PPR, right? It is a half PPR league, but I now have 3 running backs. From Aaron Jones, David Montgomery to Jerick McKinnon, Debo, McLaurin, Marquise Brown, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Boyd, Travis Kelce. I have week 17. I have my main guy. I have an idea of where I would like to go for my secondary stack. It ain't pretty. It's much more difficult. I have not streamed in like 6 months. It is very difficult. I am not in mid-season form, but I hope that you guys are enjoying this draft. If you are, drop a like on the video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, especially if you're new. It's pretty late. If you've been watching to this point and you enjoy the content, you click the things. Just click the thing. It's not too hard. Love David Njoku in this spot. And as I was mentioning about that article before, we can take a look at it in just a second. For the week 17 spots, right? Cancel that out. Cut that part out, Ron. So I need to start looking at some players that I can utilize, whether it's for a running back, whether it's for a late round secondary stack. My quarterback is week 10. So which quarterbacks can I not take? Cannot take Matthew Stafford. Not that I would at this point because I have no correlation. And that's about it. So I'm pretty free for my secondary stacks at this point, right? I'm not bound by much. I'm going to surprise you with where I would like to go for the secondary stack. Jacoby Myers falls a ton. Like, why do we hate him? He's not bad. He fits in with the quarterback and his style of play, right? There's certainly a fit there that Jimmy G does not like to throw deep and he likes to run short routes and thrives there. I don't think they're going to win a lot of games, which means they should be playing from behind. And there goes Meyer. I'm going to go with A-Kane. As an RB3, this is a solid pick. Or sorry, RB4, this is a solid pick. Don't need to lean on him. If he does take the job, there's massive upside. As I said, I don't really like a lot of the running backs as we get deeper into these drafts from 139 through 211. They're very difficult to find guys like we found them last year. But I do have 4 solid running backs, 3 of which are going to be on the field an awful lot. And another one that is a little bit of a wild card as a rookie. But I like the shape that the draft is taking. Let me take a look at the article that I was talking about. So we have the Bengals and the Chiefs. We have the Lions and the Cowboys. We talked about that one. Dolphins play the Ravens. I have no Dolphins. Packers play the Vikings. Chargers and Broncos. Jets play the Browns. Panthers play the Jaguars. Patriots and Bills. Steelers and Seahawks. Cardinals and Eagles. Raiders and Colts. Falcons, Bears. Saints, Buccaneers. 49ers play the Commanders. I have that week 17 stack already, right? I have the Samuel. I already have correlation here. I don't feel like I need to force a quarterback with that. I can, but I don't think it's necessary. Where's TJ Hushmanzada going? Right around 1998. Yeah, pick 1998 is where TJ is going. Nico Collins, solid. I do expect the quarterback play in Houston to be improved from where it was in the last couple of years, but also it's still a rookie quarterback. How many quarterback touchdowns, how many passing touchdowns do you expect to see, right, from a rookie quarterback? It's not all that many. 25 is a lot of touchdowns, even in today's game. Rookie quarterbacks typically don't throw more than 25 touchdowns. Vinny the Vinster, thank you very much for the 32 months. Kick Rush, thank you for the Prime. Appreciate you guys coming back to the stream. My first time streaming in a long time. A lot of buzz about Dalton Kincaid. And typically I'm not taking him in a lot of drafts, but with an ADP discount of like 13 picks and as versatile as he may be, I'll take a little bit of that value there. Romeo Dobbs flop leg season, maybe. That's another. So if Christian Watson, if you can stomach Christian Watson in the late 30s or early 40s, Jordan Love is fine as a secondary QB. And you're going to get your choice of Dobbs or the rookie that they draft or anybody else behind them. Here come all those guys from NYG. You can do this to set your stacks as well on Underdog. You search for NYG. You got Hodgins here at 176, Wandale at 182. Paris Campbell has slid all the way up. He was a last round pick for me for a while. And based on the new reports from Jordan Ronan and everybody else out of New York, he has jumped like 20 picks on ADP, a really fast riser. But that's how you identify your stacks. Very easy to kind of queue them, and I put them up. So like once I take a quarterback, I queue up all the different guys. Like KC, who's left? Sky Moore goes around 115. I got McKinnon, Marquez Valdez, Scantling is still in there. Rashee Rice at 138. He was already drafted. Richie James, the slot specialist, I could get him super late. Maybe get something out of him. But all the rest of these guys, there's just no wide receiver on that team that's going to really command a lot of target market share. So you're just hoping to get like splash points out of them. So like that's why I'm not prioritizing those wide receivers as much and trying to get them as thin as thinly as possible. Rounds 16, 17, or 18. I'll take one more for my teams that have these Patrick Mahomes stacks. KJ Osborne, DJ Chark, Mingo, Marquez Valdez, Scantling on top of the list right now. I might make a reach for this next pick. I don't usually reach for guys. I know I reached for a stack earlier. I'm going to reach for a guy right here. I could easily go John Mingo right here. You know what? I'm not going to reach. I'll tell you who the guy's going to be, but I'll get there in a minute. If Mingo goes, this is my pick right here. Okay, he went. Good. So I don't have to take him. Mingo is going to be my pick. This dude has sniped me like 3 times. So I'm going to reach a little bit. I'm going to go with Tyquan Thornton. Okay. And yes, it's a reach. His ADP was around 180 something. It's now at 160. If they bring in Hopkins, I think that helps Tyquan more than it hurts him. Because now everything rolls to the other side and the super fast Thornton can make a play in this spot. I would have loved to have gotten Mingo here at 150 and then 2 picks behind ADP, get Thornton at 162 or 163, whatever it is on the way back. There goes Jordan Love, who we talked about before at 152. That would have been the dream, but with Mingo gone, I'll take Thornton and get the guy I want. I'm willing to reach to get the guy I want, especially if they're probably not going to be there on the way back. Or if I'm trying to create that secondary player in a stack like Jerick McKinnon, who was extremely important to this passing attack, who I was not going to get, was probably going to get taken before he came back to me. Building out him as my secondary guy with Patrick Mahomes, where I have Mahomes and McKinnon and Kelsey. I can still pick one guy in the last round and be totally fine with it. Do I think I'll wind up drafting better teams early, like now or into August? There's a lot of data that shows that the later teams that are drafted are the ones that end up winning. But one, this is my job to make content about fantasy football. So I have to have content out there about fantasy football. And there is no better content than actually drafting for real money against other real people. Mock drafts are stupid. There's no way you could ever get me to watch a mock draft at all. Why do I like Mingo? Price, lack of competition for targets. They seem to really like him. I do like the quarterback play there, even though it's a rookie who should be capped on statistically, is not going to throw 35, 40 touchdowns, but he could see 20 to 25% of the target market share. DJ Chark is a downfield guy and he can't get open. They don't really have anything else at wide receiver. Like, we know who Laviska is at this point. He's not special. All apologies to Laviska, but like, whatever. He ain't that dude. Go with Curtis Samuel in this spot. So there's a lot of stuff. I can't say that name. No, I can't. It's been 2 years. And it's not DFS. So, like, there's nobody else that can really command targets. Sam Howell, come on down. I want him as an option, okay? I'm not necessarily targeting him, but I need to have plan B. My dad always told me growing up, life isn't always going to go according to the way that you want it to go. So you will be defined, your success in life will be defined by how you deal with plan B. So Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin are very much about correlating with Deebo Samuel to me for this lineup, as their week 17 option is there. You got three great options: Mac, Purdy, Howell. You could also not use Purdy if you want. Like, I don't know that Purdy holds on to that job forever. He might. It might be Trey Lance. But yeah, there's value in leaving yourself outs. There's always value in leaving yourself outs. And so sometimes my typical build through 17 rounds is 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 2, 5, 8, 2. Okay, that's 17 rounds. 2 quarterbacks, 5 running backs, 8 wide receivers, and 2 tight ends, specifically on Underdog. And then in the 18th round, I will pick either a 3rd quarterback, a 3rd tight end, a 6th running back. I won't go to 9 wide receivers. I will pick one of the other guys depending on what I feel I need for that specific team. If I did not get a premium quarterback stack, I'm probably going to take a 3rd guy. Okay, I'm probably going to take a 3rd quarterback in that spot. I do like that. There's touchdown upside there. Foreman is a running back 5 at an ADP discount of 6 spots late in the draft. Like, I'm okay with that. I don't have to hang my hat on him. There is running upside there in that offense. Hodgins at 175. On DraftKings, I think his ADP is in like the 150s right now. Hayden Hurst, tight end run. Taysom Hill at 173 here. If I have no premium running backs, like if I went 0 RB, right? If I didn't have anybody up in here, right? If I didn't have Aaron Jones, if I didn't have David, if I waited till like round 8, 9, 10, I'll probably draft a 6th running back late in that draft just to give myself more coverage. If I don't have a premium tight end, I'll draft that 3rd tight end late. Make sure that I get the guy that I kind of want. Let's queue up some guys. As we mentioned, I've got some guys that I can go to. I'm not going to get Bryce Young in this draft. Doesn't make sense for me. Somebody just took a QB. Who went? Purdy just went at 178. Got Mac Jones, got Howell. I can get them a little bit later if I need to. I do need to get me a 2nd QB. At tight end, I can draft. I don't have to draft, but I do like Hunter Henry in this spot. And currently I do have my 5 running backs. I'm not going to draft another running back more than likely. I can, since I really didn't draft one until pick 54. I might draft a 6th running back with this one, but it's going to be kind of thin. I'll only draft one more quarterback with this team because I did get the premium stack and correlated it pretty well, in my opinion, if I do say so myself. So we'll see how the rest of this draft plays. Kareem Hunt, currently not on a team. Ezekiel Elliott, currently not on a team, hoping that both of them end up. I've got a lot of Kareem Hunt as my RB5, but I'm not stacking 2 of those guys, right? I'm not going with 2. Oh, he's got 3 of them. Is all the lottery tickets for Robinson. Mechie, Hunter Renfrow, Chandler at 185. Currently the backup there. I like the other McBride. Don't tell anybody, but I like McBride. We're at 189. Wandale, him. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take Mac Jones early here just to lock up my secondary stack with Tyquan Thornton. I have a 10-11 here. I have a 10-13 here. I'll probably end up reaching for Hunter Henry as well. I like my wide receivers. This team has come together very well. For the first on-stream draft that we've done of the year, I do kind of like this team. When is Will Fuller going to sign? Damn it. Double J, thank you for the 46 months. I appreciate you guys. I told you Paris Campbell was jumping. There's Paris Campbell off the board at 190. Sam Howell. See, now I'm glad I grabbed Mac Jones there. Kyler Murray to this team as well. Justin Herbert went with 3 quarterbacks. I'm not sure I would have done that with a premium quarterback. Welcome back. Thank you. Appreciate that. I took a lot of time off this offseason. I was a little burned out at the end of last football season. I really needed to take some time, recharge the batteries. But we're back now. We're going to trickle into the season with June and July. Then we'll start hitting it hard once August gets here. And obviously, when the season gets here with the daily fantasy content, we'll be going full steam. Imagine a year ago getting Zeke, Hunt, and Lenny in rounds 14 through 16. They would have disabled that draft because you would have been cheating. Puka Nakua! Can't see it. It's behind my head. Puka Shell! This is actually kind of difficult to do because I don't have my players queued up. And every time I come back to this, it shuffles. So it's very hard to see who you have and who you don't have. We're getting to the point where there are still some values left on the board with Wandale Robinson now, Bobby Trees. I'm going to take Hunter Henry. We'll get our double correlation with New England here in the hopes that they take a step forward. The 2 late round QB stacks that I like the most right now, and again, I'm not stacking them as a primary. I'm using them in correlation with when I get an elite QB. Mac Jones to go along with Tyquan Thornton and Hunter Henry. You could get Parker with him if you want. That's fine. Very cheap to stack at the back end of a draft. And I talked already about the Daniel Jones through Waller here, where he started this. Waller in round 8, Daniel Jones in round 9, and then you can fill up and get 1 or 2 more guys. He got Hodgins at 175, and he's got a double stack there. This is where people start to get desperate with quarterbacks. I don't need to, as I locked up a premium quarterback early, slightly ahead of ADPs, 19. I got him at 19. He's usually around 21. But if I'm drafting Kelsey early, I either want to get T. Higgins or I want to get Patrick Mahomes. Now, look, as draft season goes on, I fully expect these quarterback ADPs to drop a little bit, where getting Kelsey, T. Higgins, and then Patrick Mahomes in the 3rd round will be extremely viable. Maybe that never materializes, but the last 3 or 4 summers, quarterbacks earlier in the summer, since they are more of a sure thing than the other players, we know what their role is. The quarterback is a position where it does not injure as easily as something like running back. Elite quarterbacks do go early in draft season than they do later in draft season. So in August, we could see these ADPs on guys like Hurts and Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes fall by a round, maybe even 2 rounds. And when they do, now those correlations and opposite team correlations, like I said, Kelsey and T. Higgins, because you can't get Kelsey and Jamar Chase. That just ain't happening. When you can get those guys, all of a sudden, now you have some possibilities of what you can get done. I've got 3 tight ends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wide receivers. I'm going to take a wide receiver in this spot. There's never really all that much upside. I'm not going to triple stack on them, but I can get, I think, Justin Watson and hope for some big time upside to go along with my Patrick Mahomes stack. As a last round pick, my wide receiver 8, we know that he can get downfield. He's been in the system. There's nobody to keep him off the outside, really. All the guys that they have are gadget guys that play inside and in the slot. So Watson will be on the field and running routes with Patrick Mahomes taking snaps. So as a second player to stack, as I said before, I don't feel the need to pay up for that other player in the stack outside of Jerick McKinnon to go with my Patrick Mahomes stacks. I've got correlation in week 17. All throughout the roster, I have 2 correlated quarterbacks. I think this draft went fabulous as far as I'm concerned. I'm very happy with the way the team worked out. Here's everything for you. Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Deebo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, who correlates with San Francisco. Washington plays San Fran in week 17. Aaron Jones, Marquise Brown, David Montgomery, Cortland Sutton, Tyler Boyd, Jerick McKinnon, A-Kane, Kincaid, Thornton, Samuel, Foreman, Mac Jones, Hunter Henry, and Justin Watson. Thank you guys for watching. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.